Yo, what's good, people? Today I'm going to be talking about how to open up turtles with Master Raven. This will only be a short video, but yeah, I've had a lot of people say like, how do I open up people who have good defense, or how do I open up people who are just blocking, backdashing the whole game? And really, she doesn't have to take massive risks. A lot of Master Raven players think they have to take massive risks to like open people up, and it's just not the case. It really is not the case. I'm going to show you some movement options that she has. So for example, in this range, she has very good space control, specifically with crouch dash, because the thing is, she can bait you know, plays into pressing buttons with her movement alone. So this will make people press buttons alone. Just crouch dash. Just crouch dash. And so you can yeah, as I said, you can force people to press buttons, backdash, and then with punish. But let's say, for example, they are just backdashing the whole game, they're just blocking the whole game, they're sidestepping the whole game, they're not pressing buttons. Now, so if they're not interacting, you can force the interaction. I think it was it Speed Kicks who came up with that, with the don't interact. I think he was like, if you fight against an Eliza player, don't interact. And so Eliza has options to kind of force interaction. It's the same with Raven. She has options to force interaction. So for example, if she has crouch dash, and the last episode, and I think it's episode 7 or 8, I can't remember, but anyway, I go through her option from crouch dash. So she can literally from basically full screen force you to guess. This is like borderline seeable this low, but you're not seeing this low. So if you know, if they're blocking the whole game, this is very strong, because it's, I mean, yes, it's 0 on hit, but it leaves you right to the opponent, so you can go to a full crouch, side step. So it's very strong. It's a very strong low. So she has really good poke lows, and you kind of have to be mindful of this one, because this is actually launch and block. So if you press, if I make her guard, or let's see, this is -15, so Queen can just launch this. So you have to be careful with moving, using this move. A lot of players, they don't actually launch it. So I would advise, until you actually get launched for using this move, just keep using it, because a lot of people don't know that this move is launch. So I would say, yeah. So as you can see, you can cover a lot of range. You can force interaction. You can force interaction with this move, this move. So you have a lot of moves that force interaction. So she can again force interaction with her crouch dash 1 throw, which is a command grab. It's a 1 to break it. It's not generic. And she also has her 1+2, which can be buffered. So you can press, let me put my command history on. So you can actually press half circle back, buffer it, and then, so that wasn't a good example. Yeah, you can buffer it. So you can keep this charged, this or this input stored, and then still run up and grab. So this is very very useful. So what I like to do is sometimes hide it in my backdash. So if I'm backdashing, I will slip a half circle back in the backdash, so you wouldn't even know that I pressed half circle back. And yeah, so it's quite an advanced technique to hide that in backdash, but it is possible. I'm literally pressing half circle back in my backdash, and you wouldn't even know, because it just looks the same as a regular backdash. I'm using a DualSense 5, by the way, which is not my normal playing controller. So if my movement seems a bit sus, that's the reason. Because I usually use DualShock 4 for Tekken, but I had this on my desk. I was like, why not use this one? It's only a video anyway. But yeah, so she has options to force interactions, and I'm gonna keep referring to this term, forcing the interaction, forcing the mix. She can force a mix from full crouch. She can literally crouch dash from full screen and force a mix. There's nothing they can do. They're gonna have to guess. And if you don't want to take the risk, you can hit confirm this with plenty of hit confirm frames. Look at that. And that's still natural. Then she has her safest low, which is -12, I think. Well, technically her safest lows are -9, but yeah. So like from neutral anyway, her safest low is down 3, and this I believe is -12 as well. So they're both the same. But yeah, so but you can react to this. So I would say, I mean, you can still do this from crouch dash, but I would say like your main poke low to open people up would be down 3, down 4, and full crouch 3. And these can all be done from crouch dash, meaning you can close the distance and force interaction. She has her throws, which I just demonstrated, which can be done from quite a way away. You can buffer like her 1+2. And we haven't even touched back turn. So you can literally force interaction now. And she's in back turn. So now what do? They have to guess. It's a mid or it's a low. Because look, this low is I-16. This mid is I-16. They're gonna have to guess. They can't fuzzy. Like fuzzying Raven in back turn is just, it is non-existent. It's a read because these are the same frames. So how can you fuzzy a low and a mid that have the same frames? You can't. And I don't think the animation is obvious enough. It's I-16. You can't really react to it. So like you can literally force a back turn mix. If you go back to my last Raven 101 episode, I was talking about how you can do empty crouch and then back turn down 4 to far off timing. Because if you do this is another way to like force the mix down back 2. But a lot of Ravens, they do down back 2 straight away and then back turn down 4. But what you can do is far off the time it a little bit. Or you can do this. If they don't have threatening like counter hit launchers like Steve back 1, because you wouldn't be able to do this on Steve for free. He can back 1 you. But this is he can't back 1 you for this because you in crouch and you can press a back turn down 4 in crouch without getting counter hit launched. So I would say, you know, all of the elements of her game combined can force interaction, and I feel like that's the way to open up turtles. If they're not blocking low, keep hitting them low. You need to condition turtles. You need to condition people who are just defensive. That's the only way to open them up. Conditioning. Just keep hitting them with lows and force them to duck, and then now you're forcing them to open up to mids now. It's as simple as that, really. I know it's easier said than done, but through a lot of practice and through a lot of training with people who have very, very good defense, I find that you can literally force interaction. You can be defensive yourself. Some players can be very defensive, but they can only be defensive up to a certain point, because if they're backdashing the whole game, they're not hitting you. They need to approach you at some point. Do you know what I'm saying? So you can also match their turtle and just run away and force them to come to you, because Raven's very good at space control too. So she has keep out moves, QCF 4, up forward 4, up back 4. Like she has very good keep out moves. So you know, you can actually force players to come to you rather than coming to them. But I think the focus of this video is kind of opening players up, so therefore attacking. So she has very good low. She has quite a good throw game. Again, this is a back turn throw mix up. There's no animation difference. They're gonna have to guess. It's either generic, which is 1 or 2, and 1 plus 2. It's a guess. And again, just transitioning to back turn will make them duck, because they don't want to take this mix or step. They don't want to take it. This fully tracks to both sides. It can be step to the left. Very, very perfect step. So I'm just going to say this move is fully tracking to both sides. This is really good at tracking as well, but can be stepped in some situations. Yeah, and in terms of like, you know, back turn down 4, which is a flow chart for a lot of people, I would say try to delay the timing, which forces your opponent to make really, really hard reads, whether that's a commit to a crouch or whether that's, you know, like delaying the low parry. There's a lot of adjustments that the opponent will need to make if you start delaying timings, forcing the interactions. She has very good lows. Like her lows are really good for forcing yourself on people. I really want to reiterate the back turn throw game though, because once you throw these people, they're gonna start ducking. And she has a plethora of mids. This is natural. This is a natural string. So she has very good mids to check as well. And then obviously she has back turn down 4, which can be delayed. She has this, which can be done by itself, and bait a punish. So she has a lot of stuff that can bait retaliation, that can open people up. That's, yeah. I want to keep this video as short as possible. It is now 11 minutes recorded, so not as short as I wanted it to be, but I think it's very important that people know like her movement options, and I also want to go back to crouch dash moves. She can do a lot of stuff. She can just force interactions. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to, you know, hit me up in the comments or Twitter or any of my other social medias, Twitch. That's it, guys. Peace.